Yeah, Ronnie went into that session 6-2 ahead, and they shared the 8 frames yesterday, so O'Sullivan's comfort blanket remains the same size. He needs 3 more this morning to guarantee an 18th quarter-final appearance in what is his 25th time here in Sheffield. Now, O'Sullivan first played at the Crucible in '93, and although he made the semis twice in '98 and '99, it took him 9 attempts to finally land the title, beating John Higgins in 2001. Now, further wins followed in '04 against Graham Dott, Ali Carter 4 years later, the captain again in another 4-year winning cycle, and then that stunning back-to-back double in 2012 and 2013 when O'Sullivan successfully defended his title despite having taken the whole season out of the sport. It might have been a treble had it not been for Mark Selby's tenacity to deny him a 6th title in 2014, his first defeat in a Crucible final. And Stephen Hendry, a winner of 7 world titles and 18 majors in all. Well, you're champing at the bit to see this one, I'm sure, Stephen. But, you know, at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's 0 to 60 in about 2 hours from breakfast time onwards. It's a tough time to have a final session in this key match, isn't it? It
is, but both these players have been here and done it many times. They probably got up maybe 7, 8 in the morning, so they're well ready, well awake. OK, now yesterday, I'm sure everybody was intrigued by events because it could have been 7-9 for Shaun Murphy. He will be stewing, you'd think, on that final frame. Could have been closer. Yeah, it had been a long night last night for Shaun. He missed a trick there. Possibly his chance of winning this match went with that missed green. So all to do this morning, he's got to win, well, 7-2 in this final session, something that probably no one's ever done against O'Sullivan.
Do you sense he still believes it's possible?
Probably inside, yeah. He's got to believe. I mean, that's going to be the test this morning. How much do you want it? How much you still believe you can? I think if it was 9-7, he would have had a slight chance. This morning he's got to come out and win the first 4 frames to make it. If Ronnie wins just one of them, I think the match is over. You
know, he can go back to these memory banks, I suppose, to 2007. He was 5 frames to 11 down against Matthew Stevens, came back to win that one, 13-12. Is this a different kind of proposition?
Well, it's just a different kettle altogether, night and day. I mean, Matthew Stevens, no disrespect, great player, but Ronnie O'Sullivan's one of the best players of all time, and looks really up for this championship. I think Shaun might have missed his trick yesterday.
Do you expect in any way that Ronnie's levels might dip to the degree that they did yesterday afternoon? Because he looked a little jaded, a little fatigued in those last 4 frames, didn't he?
No, I think he'll come out firing this morning. I think yesterday might have been his bad session in this match.
OK, Stephen, you're into commentary very shortly, and let's just show you the scene backstage because the guys are pacing around. There's Ronnie there, ready to go out. And we're entering the back straight in this particular match. But into the back straight, I suppose, in the second session of their match is Mark Allen, who produced a blistering performance yesterday, despite 3 centuries and a 96% pot success rate. John Higgins is only 2 frames behind. Very wily player, John Higgins. So there's Mark Allen, their second session coming up today. So what a morning it could be. One for the early birds, including all of you at home. So let's get on with it, shall we? MC Rob Walker is going to get the ball rolling. All yours, Rob.
Thanks, Hazel. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a lineup for the middle Saturday here at the sport's spiritual home. 4 of the greatest entertainers the game has ever seen. One thing's for certain. Day 8 at the Betfred World Snooker Championships is starting with a bang. Please welcome one of the best break builders in the modern game. Made the semis in '09, but yesterday we saw arguably the best snooker he's ever produced at the Crucible. 3 centuries and 3 other breaks over 60. The 3-time ranking event winner is fired up for this one. From Northern Ireland, he's Mark the Pistol Allen. And his opponents, without doubt, one of the finest sportsmen Scotland has ever produced. Winner of 28 ranking titles in all, 4 times a world champion, and a huge clearance in the last frame yesterday has kept him in touch. He's the Wizard of... On table one, here comes a player who has been producing his best here for more than 2 decades. He is now just 3 frames away from an 18th Crucible quarter-final. Reigning Masters champion, 5 times a world champion, it's the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And his opponent, a class act on and off the bays. World champion in 05, he completed snooker's Triple Crown at the Masters 2 years ago. Winner of 7 ranking titles in all, he will give it absolutely everything this morning. He's the magician, he's Shaun Murphy!
A very good morning to you, Hazel, and a very good morning to everyone watching. It's going to be a fascinating 4 frames here, and as Stephen Hendry said to Hazel, he thinks Shaun would need to win all 4. He certainly
Thank you. Frame 17. Ronnie O'Sullivan
would need to win the mini session 3 frames to 1. As I mentioned at the top of the show, the last frame was a huge frame. Shaun almost got back to just 2 behind after being 9-3 down. Oh, the brown's in.
Foul.
Just cost him 4 points. Everything looks to be reasonably safe. Not easy, that, for your opening attempt. As I said, didn't make a great deal of difference, the brown going in, just cost him 4 points. Now this is far from easy on the cushion, requires terrific cueing to pot this. Well, what a shot. What an opening pot that was.
Yeah, you're right, Dennis, that first red was awesome.
8. Nine.
Yeah, chance to go into the bunch here. It can also almost arc the cue ball, miss the 2 reds that are between the black and the bunch, go into the bunch and bring the cue ball back to the right hand side.
Yeah, that's the shot that Stephen suggested. It's not a bad choice, but has he spotted something else there? Seems as if he's a bit reluctant to play that.
Yeah, maybe first frame in the morning and play for the open red. But well, in the end, they played the cannon on the the right-hand side of those two reds. He's not played it too well,
60.
but he's still got a red. He didn't get into the cue ball enough, want to leave a red to right corner, but still got this one to the far right corner. Possibly looking it to the middle.
$17.
Looks very focused this morning. As Stephen was saying, the boys would have been up around 7 o'clock and make sure they're wide awake.
$22.
Yeah, I just kind of had the feeling Ronnie would come out really 100% focused this morning. He kind of dodged one yesterday in that session. Should have been only 9-7 in front, and then he would have been really still favourite, but under more pressure. You want to just put this match to bed now quickly. But that's end of break.
$28.
When he won that last frame, I was coming out of the other commentary box just as he was walking through the corridor, and he said he couldn't believe it. He got down to pot the black. It was a black ball fight, he said, and someone got up in the front, the second row, and just walked out. They probably thought, well, he'll pot the black, but just as he was delivering the cue, they stood up and walked out.
Another fantastic pot. That's two amazing reds he's potted from underneath the cushion this morning. No, even a thought of playing safe there. Didn't even play it as a shot to nothing. You see where the cue ball ended up in and out of balk.
31.
Ominous signs for Shaun Murphy, I would suggest.
32.
Well, he's done nothing wrong, Shaun. He just had to go at a long pot, which is very, very difficult, and Ronnie knocked a cracking opening pot in. As you can see, he's dead straight on the blue there, but that's where he'd like to leave the cue ball. So it's going to be a medium length pot he's going to leave himself. And these are not straightforward. They need good cueing.
37.
But everything's going in the centre of the pocket at the moment. Now, has he got the angle on this red to
43.
get on the black without having to nudge it? Just.
44.
And this is the key shot coming up. If he gets the cannon on the reds just to the right, it will open things up. That looks about absolutely perfect. What a start in this opening frame.
51. $52.
Yeah, this is one way of reminding Shaun that he should have
59.
potted that green yesterday afternoon. Start with a little centre break in the first frame. How do you like them apples?
60.
He's made 47 centuries this season, way ahead of last season where he made 30.
67.
And then all of a sudden misses a sitter.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
And
67.
Shaun has a glimmer of hope. It's just the one snooker to tie required at the moment. I don't think anyone's seen that coming. I think he just lost a little bit of concentration there. Was concentrating on the cannon.
No, that's just sheer carelessness. So that was, I think, he won the frame mathematically and just eased off in the concentration.
And I'm just looking at the situation of the balls. If he can get this black, 3 more reds and a black, and leave either red next to the pink, it'd be perfect for the snooker that he needs. So there's a glimmer of hope here for Shaun Murphy in this opening frame.
Eight.
So he's removing the red to the left of the pink. Oh, he's missed it. Oh.
9.
Thought that was going to hit the jaw. Let's have another look at that. He'll leave that red, as I mentioned, the one to the right of the pink.
16.
So just the 1 4-point snooker to tie. But if he
17.
does get a good snooker on that red next to the pink, always the chance of a free ball. Just double checking the scoreboard there. But to leave himself just the 1 snooker to tie, he's got to get a black off the next red. That needs to keep on running.
$24.
He was able to screw back, so pop
25.
the black, leave the white in a good position and get tight in behind that pink. And all of a sudden this opening frame, well, it's far from over, let's put it that way.
Oh, Shaun, have you lost the cue ball? I was just about to say, he might only get 1 chance at this, getting the absolute tight snooker. Oh dear.
Shaun Murphy, 32.
And the red pots.
Yeah, he didn't get the white where he wanted. Otherwise, in behind the pink would have been a lot easier. I still expected Shaun to get in behind the pink, but these lively cloths, it's so easy to just over screw it. So Shaun didn't make Ronnie pay for that earlier easy miss.
Thank you.
Which makes Shaun's task even more
7.
difficult now.
Nine. $12. $16. $21.
We talked about the tables being a little slow when they were recovered, but they're playing beautifully now. Look at the side on that to get onto the black.
27.
Tremendous amount of left-hand side. In goes the black, but it was the earlier break of 67 that paved the way for this frame. Shaun had a glimmer of hope, just overthrew screwed the snooker, and it's Ronnie extends his lead now. It's 11 frames to 6. Looked very sharp. I mean, Shaun just had a go at a long red, which was very, very difficult. Left the white tight on the cushion at the start of that frame. And the first red that he knocked in, Stephen, was a cracker, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't explain to the viewers at home, and I mean, even your amateur players up and down the country, go to your club and try this shot. Tight on the cushion. You've got to cue it so well, not only pot the ball, but to get the power, accuracy to follow through of 2 cushions. Stunning shot.
And this is where we thought maybe he'd play a safety shot, but he had no intention of doing that. He's tight on the cushion again, and he played to get out to the colours. He wasn't playing it as a shot to nothing, as you said at the time, Stephen. He went full-blooded for it and come out onto the colour. That was 2 cracking pots in that effort.
Yeah, he's just come out this morning totally focused on what he has to do. This is the 3rd session of a match, the match to win it. This is when you really have to be on it, and more often than not, the actual very best players in the world are. The Sullivans, the Higginses, the Selbys. They know when it's.
Thank you, frame 18.
You're getting close to the winning line. So, although I said with Hazel at the top of the show that Shaun needs to win all 4 frames, he definitely needs to win all 3 now to have any squeak in this match at all.
One. Three. Thank you. 4.
Shaun left this angle on the red purposely because he knew the black was going up on to the blue spot.
12.
I need a good cannon here just to develop a few more. Can't really crash into the pink the way they're sitting, so just a more delicate one, and the black will come back onto its own spot. And he's hampered slightly, but the one just to the right
90.
of the black will pot. He's looking at the one to the right middle, and there's also one up into the right corner, but the one next to the black would be the shot that would get him better position. Just hampered slightly.
$20.
The pink spot may be occupied, so the pink now on the blue spot.
26.
He just potted that red slightly on the right hand side of the pocket. That's why he's not come as low in the black as he would have preferred.
$34.
Going to be difficult to get 69 points from this position. He's got an angle here, and knowing Shaun, he might play this with topspin and right hand side to go into the bunch.
Brilliant. It really was a great shot. Very attacking, very aggressive shot. It's so important,
42.
I think, to go into the bunch when you've got one or two loose reds. You don't ever leave it to the last minute.
$43.
Also looks to be cueing beautifully, Shaun Murphy. Wants that cue ball to stop just in time.
47.
Well, I think Shaun Murphy is the best player in the world with the rest, so I certainly don't see him missing this one.
Thank you. 48.
Well, I don't want to say too much, Dennis, because when I said Ronnie would make a century the first frame, then he missed, so I was about to say, give me the first two frames, 1 in 1 visit. Looking very much like that. But see, just as I say it. I'm going to keep quiet now.
That was just a little lapse in concentration from Shaun. We've seen that in the opening frame with Ronnie when he missed an easy red. Shaun just lost the cue ball at the crucial stage as well. He looks a little bit bemused by that. Well, now he's going to have to need another chance. And look at the way the reds and colours are situated. You'll have to be very, very careful here, because this is a must-win frame for Shaun.
Shaun Murphy, 55.
Now, there is a possibility of a very difficult pot into the left corner pocket. If he can't see the one past the green to play a safety shot, he might be tempted to take this on. He's looking to see if he can get past the green to clip the other one. So, no easy safety shot. He's going to have a go at this. Oh, what a shot that is. What a pot. You just can't hit the ball any better than that.
Yeah, it's not often you see anything on Ronnie's face after he pots the ball. I don't know if you'll see it here, but
8.
yeah, he's focused all right.
9.
And there's only the one ball that's near the cushion, the one behind the black. The rest are all sitting very
15.
nicely indeed.
16. $22. 23. 30. 31.
He's already thinking ahead, and where I've put the other little white, that's where he'd like to be in a few shots' time. If he can get the red a colour and just leave it somewhere near that white, he can just drop that difficult red in
37.
and get out onto the black. Well, let's see. He may be able
38.
to move the red now, which is even better.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to play the cannon.
Yeah, he's had to leave it into the other corner, but he's left him very straight on this.
44.
Now, he could just roll this in and in behind the black. And that's what he's ran it through,
45.
but this is a tough shot he's left himself with. I thought he would just pot the red and roll tight up behind the black.
I think he was going to do that, Dennis. I think he's completely just lack of concert, whatever, just followed the cue ball like almost 2 feet further than he wanted. I think he was going to do exactly what you said, just drop the red in the snooker, Shaun.
He didn't play the double. He played the snooker there. Has he got the snooker? That's
52.
the question. Maybe he didn't get the snooker behind the pink. That's what he played.
He's not going to drop this yellow in now, surely. No.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 52.
Yeah, pretty good shot. You know, it's a straightforward escape here, but you still have to be very precise to try and knock this safe. It's so easy to push the yellow on. And that's a pretty good outcome there. Well, this is a chance. He can pop this yellow. He can come off the cushion to the left of the black and back down for the green. This looks very good. Played it very well indeed. Good judgment there. Brown and blue needed.
Nine.
As long as your opponent needs 2 frames, you always feel you've got a bit of a chance.
40.
He's not going to bother with the blank. He had an earlier break of 55 and just ran slightly out of position. Opened the door for Ronnie O'Sullivan, but Ronnie didn't take it, and Shaun badly needed that frame. He's got it, but he still trails by 4 frames, 11-7. Back just in time as Olivia Martel has finished setting the balls up, and Shaun Murphy, well, he's just got to take it a frame at a time. That's all you can do.
Quietly, please. Frame 19. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Oh, that's a pretty good break-off shot. I think all Shaun can do here is come off the side cushion, just nestle into the reds there. From the break-off shot, you're usually looking to get the white tight on the cushion. It looks as if he's just playing to nestle on the one nearest the cushion, and he's done well. The Champions Lounge was very quiet this morning. There was just Shaun's wife Elaine and baby boy Harry there, and they feel that Shaun can come back here. And why wouldn't they? But his son Harry's a delightful little boy. He's really smiling all the time. Can Shaun take this match past the mid-session interval? He'll have to win one of the 2 frames before that interval.
I love watching Ronnie O'Sullivan playing safety shots because he never plays anything plain ball. Never plays straight up and down shots. Always putting some sort of side in the cue ball, trying to manufacture angles. Good connection on the red, but has he left it? It's a very tough shot that Shaun Murphy had to play. Very easy to get the double kiss.
Ronnie's also got to hide that red that's over the pocket, so played that with lots of check side. There might be a gap through to this red, and the black might be available. That wasn't the best shot that Ronnie's ever played. You can see the pink's potable, but he can certainly get through to the potting angle. And he's coming round to have a look to see if the black is available. But it's one of those, he can play for the black, and if he doesn't get on it, the pink's there for the middle pocket. So it's an early chance for Shaun here.
One.
Well, it goes without saying at this stage of the match, Shaun Murphy's got to make the most of these opportunities when he gets in first in frames. He'll know that.
Eight. Nine.
Don't think the red is closest to the black goes to the right corner, but I may just nudge it ever so slightly and stay on it. I decided to play the more percentage shot, just get the cue ball out of there.
16. Seventeen. 22.
I certainly couldn't have the reds placed any better. Oh, what a horrendous kick.
Shaun Murphy, 22.
That was vile. Absolutely vile.
I think that's one of the worst kicks I've ever seen. Watch the red. I mean, it's gone sideways. I mean, that's ridiculous. And what a time for that to happen. He was going along, cueing beautifully. Looked like he was going to make a sizable contribution again, and then that happens.
Surely that's not Shaun Murphy's hopes of winning this match gone with that. Piece of incredible bad fortune that was. I mean, this is horrific.
8. Nine.
Yeah, you don't mind losing a frame if you've played a poor shot or had a little bit of bad luck, but well, that was worse than bad luck.
Forty. Thank you. 15. 22. 23.
He very rarely has the cue ball cleaned. You know, a lot of
38.
players would have the ball cleaned after a heavy contact, but
Yeah, I suppose it's, you know,
Obviously, Shaun had the bad kicks, but it's a bit like after the horse has bolted as a thing. There's also a chance of getting 2 kicks in a row. But no, he is one of the few players in the game that virtually never has a cue ball cleaned. Certainly not for the sake of doing it. He will if he sees something on the cue ball.
47.
I mean, this is how. I mean, how punishing can snooker at the top level be? What's happened to Shaun Murphy there, and he's just got to sit there and suffer.
Just a moment, please, Ronnie.
All the spots are occupied. Ronnie taking the opportunity just to sit down for a while the referee, Olivier Martel from Belgium, he is a nurse in one of the big hospitals in Belgium and manages to get time off to referee. Very good referee.
Thank you. 53. $54.
But it was interesting that Ronnie went and sat down while he spotted the pink.
$59. 60.
Or has he got the angle? 38 the difference. He would only need one more red, and he's just looking to see if he could get on that one. I mean, if he was behind, he'd be contemplating canning into the 2 reds and pink, but he doesn't need those. He just needs this 1 red and a colour. 43. In fact, the red's enough
65.
to leave Shaun needing a snooker. So that kick, that heavy contact, if this red goes in, it has cost Shaun this frame. Very, very unfortunate. Must have spotted something on the cue ball that time to have it cleaned.
$73.
I mean,
74.
So cruel what happened to Shaun Murphy, but I have to say I love what Ronnie's done. He's absolutely punished him. He's taken these superbly well.
77. 78.
We've had 38 centuries so far in this year's Betfred World Championship. Ronnie's had 3 so far.
84. 86.
Incredible.
89.
47 this season, which is 17 more than last season.
93.
He really is an animal on the table when he's in this kind of mood.
$98.
But it has to be said, he's cueing so well this morning. Very, very focused. He was lucky to get in here, but there was no luck about that century break. 10 up. Superb break from the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Shaun Murphy was dreadfully unlucky when he got that horrendous kick. And as Ronnie leaves the arena, he just needs one more frame for a place in the quarter-final.
Quietly, please.
Some incredible stats there about Ronnie O'Sullivan. And Shaun, well, he's just sitting there waiting for Ronnie to come back. And, well, what happened to him in this frame? I mean, he's just rolling the red in. And watch, maybe he had a little bit of side, but, I mean, the kick threw that red off path by so much. But Ronnie came to the table and thought he might have the cue ball clean, but he just carried on and cleared up from there.
Yeah, I think the fact that Ronnie's playing a stun shot as well, perhaps that was the reason he didn't get the cue ball cleaned. But Shaun Murphy now breaks off. You mentioned Dennis, when the opponent needs 2 frames, you've got a bit of room for manoeuvre, but now it's, well, it's the point of no return now. Ronnie will want to get the match won in this frame. He won't want to go to an interval, which is scheduled for after the 4th frame of every match. You want to get this done now.
But have a look at this. He's tucked up on the cushion and he's rolled that in perfect on the black. I mean, he's played a couple of long pots this morning, which were quite incredible.
Yeah, I said in some interviews before this, I think Ronnie would win it, and I actually didn't, just because the way he's been playing in the last few months. But he was always capable, but in this kind of form, this kind of focus, he's going to take some stopping.
Eight.
That red he played at the start of the frame, wow. I mean, that could win any hot shot competition.
9.
I mean, this would be a tough red if you were on the baulk line, but from the cushion to roll that in.
15.
It's just a sign how well he's cueing the balls he's potted from tight under the cushion today. You have to be cueing just supremely well. Striking the cue ball in the middle. Any millimetre of side, either side of middle of the cue ball, and you miss that pot by a mile. And he won't be happy with that one. He'll be furious with that one. That was very careless. Wanted to kiss the left hand of those 2 reds.
23.
Maybe that's just adrenaline, seeing the winning line.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 23.
Well, he may have covered that one. He got a terrific cue ball, but the red sprung out of the pack, and Ronnie might swerve around the green here. Because he can't leave that red there. He's looking at the pot to the right corner, and if he knocks this one in, well, this is just as difficult as the opening pot. I prefer swerving around the green. And he's thought about that, and because there's every chance that he could finish on the black if he gets the swerve correct, but he's looked at that red, and it's the very difficult one into the right corner. Well, maybe did he just play to hide that cue ball? Well, he certainly covered it, that's for sure.
Well, I think he definitely took the pot on. For once, was well wide of the mark. He's actually been quite fortunate.
There is one red that Shaun can cut in past that red that's over the pocket, but that one there, if he cut that across, but I don't think it would go in off the other red. He's looked at that. And I think that's the one he's decided on, the one I had the circle in. Will it go in off the other red? Will he knock the other red in? Oh! Well, look at the cue ball, though. Have a look at the cue ball. I'm not sure if he can get enough side on this to come off one cushion and pot that red that's over the pocket. I don't know if he can do that. He's tried, and he's got it.
Yeah, lots of right-hand side. If he just pots the red a little bit thinner, it would be nicely on the black. But this is still potable. Nope.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Oh, if he's covered that red to the left corner, he's been very fortunate. Possibly the red goes by the black.
Yeah, he'd like to pot this directly into the pocket, but it could go in off the black. And I'm just looking, he would still be on the pink if he took this on and went in off the black. But if he pots it cleanly, the black's there. But if it goes in off the black, he can still get position. And he potted it cleanly. And bridging over the green. That was terrific cueing from Shaun Murphy there. I mean, the green was very awkward.
Eight. Nine. 16. 17. Shaun
Just
Murphy
lost
70.
a little bit of focus there. He was a bit disappointed with the way he left himself on the pink because he was having to go away from the reds, but he just took his eye off that pot there. And if this is a plant, and it looks as if it can be made, it's, let's see, it's just going slightly to the right side of the pocket, but they're close together, so it can make it into a plant. And if this plant goes in, Shaun might just have played his last shot in this year's World Championship. Well, he's taking the single red. And now he's got an angle on the pink to develop the reds if he wishes.
Yeah, the only thing he's got to avoid is the gap between the two sets of 3 reds. Any contact, you would think it's frame and match over.
Seven.
I'm a little bit surprised he played for this red. This is not straightforward to get on a colour.
8.
And he's not in the pink.
This is the key shot coming up. The pot on the blue is pretty straightforward. It's just making sure he avoids contact on one of the bulk colours. He went between yellow and brown, but same result, and this looks pretty good. Or is it going to run a bit too far? I think he's okay. He's got the red to the middle pocket.
13.
It was a strange shot. I thought he could have gone in between green and brown. He just brought the cube up a straight line. He had choice of 2 or 3 reds to the left corner, but he's still all right.
14.
Still a match winning opportunity now. Though straight in the black's no good. Screw off the cushion for a red to right middle.
$21. $22.
He's not on the pink. That was a little bit careless, and now he's got to not only pot the blue but leave the 2 reds that's just by his hand there. Screw back for those. No. That's amazing.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 22.
Usually someone like Ronnie, the top players, they have no problem closing a match out, but it shows you even they can feel the pressure at the end of a match. Oh, Shaun. That's a couple that he can't believe he's missed.
Yeah, it looks like that kick that he got in the last frame has sapped any remaining belief that Shaun had of winning this match. So you would think one positional shot now.
Five. Six.
The joint favourites before the start of this year's Betfred World Championship, Mark Selby and Judd Trump.
12.
Judd is no longer here. Rory McLeod defeated him. Just wondered the way Ronnie's performed here against Shaun Murphy, if the bookies don't make him favourite. Because he has looked very focused and he's played very well against Shaun. It was going to be a tough match
20.
for Ronnie. And even that red on the cushion, he made it look very easy. and what us players are.
33.
That match will start on
37.
Tuesday morning. Meanwhile, Ronnie going about his business here, just polishing off the colours.
42.
Shaun Murphy, the gentleman that he is, will come forward and congratulate Ronnie.
48.
There was a little bit of needle in this match, but Shaun is the perfect gentleman. But in the end, Ronnie was just a little bit too good. Very solid performance from the 5 times world champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And in the end, I suppose you'd have to say, it was a comfortable victory. He beats the former champion, Shaun Murphy, by 13 frames to 7.